Friends 2.
You're not on the ride, you can't search for the truth. That's all I gotta say.
Nice. Yeah. All right, this is Rocklahoma 2014. We are with Taki from Eve to Adam.
What's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot.
How you doing, Randy?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, man. You've been here for 3 days?
Yeah.
You've been here? Oh, yeah.
4, actually.
Oh, right on.
And then the party started 2 days before that. So
Oh, hell yeah.
we're going on our 6th straight day of
My admiration. My admiration.
we're tripping.
There's a reason why I have to take vacation, man.
I got you, man.
I should take vacation after. But and then, anyway.
That's good, man. That's good.
So how's everything been going? You guys are just packed.
Well, man, we're so thankful to be out and working and being asked to be on different tours. You know, we just did some dates with Theory of a Dead Man.
Nice.
We got off an 8-week tour with Lacuna Coil in King. And we're going out with Saliva in June. And we've done all these awesome radio festivals, Carolina Rebellion. And we just did River City Rock Fest in San Antonio last night.
Oh, right.
And now we're here in Rocklahoma.
Hell yeah.
And it's like,
Have you been here before?
I have. I was here in 2012.
So wait.
Playing Scorpion Child Slot, the Midnight Slot.
Oh, that's
okay.
right.
Yeah. So I think we were one of the first bands where they kind of put us on that, you know, which was awesome because we thought it was going to be pretty dead, but there was about 1,000 people left. The dedicated, the strong.
They're everywhere.
Those guys that were not leaving without getting every band on the ticket.
They're not ready to call it quits
Those
yet.
are my favorite people.
There's a stage out here in the campgrounds that goes until about 4 or 5 in the
I heard
morning.
about that.
Camp Jaeger.
Oh my God.
It is a Rocklahoma party.
Camp Jaeger, and it lives up to its name.
Well, let me tell you, a big shout out to my friend Lou from Jaeger that I met on the Hailstorm Tour in 2012 within this moment, and he just came onto my bus before we played, and he brought me a bottle of Jaeger and a bottle of the new Spice, the Jaeger Spice.
I was wondering about that.
Excellent.
Really?
So excellent. I did 4 shots before the show.
Absolutely. Why not?
No better way to get ready for a 4:25 slot at Rocklahoma on Sunday than 4 shots of Jaeger Spice. Thank you, Lou, and thank you, Jägermeister. You guys are the best.
Good
Absolutely.
stuff.
I might see you at the Jaeger camp. That sounds pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a party. It is the definition of the rock and roll Rocklahoma campground party.
Absolutely.
It's really cool. I mean, everybody's really laid back, and it's just everybody's your buddy.
Well,
Everybody's.
you know what I love about Rocklahoma? It's an authentic festival because at the inception, the idea of it was to have people come here and camp out and immerse themselves in the atmosphere and get into it, be part of it. You know, and when you have that, it's a special connection between the bands rolling through here and the people that are here dedicated to watching everything for 3 days. I mean, not enough gets said for the audience. Their dedication is it's a lot of work. I mean, I was at a festival yesterday, and I went and saw Deftones, and I saw Kid Rock at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I get out, sometimes I don't. But last night I had a great time. But I'm looking around, and I was like, really just hit me home. Like, thankfully for this audience, you know, the metalheads are just the fucking most dedicated ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So many bands, and out in the sun all day long, and then into the night, and still pushing it and enjoying it. Like, without the audience, this genre doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's really interesting that you say that, because I just read something on one of our friends that is a singer in a band called First Strike.
Okay.
Posted. He's like, I just came off of the Queensryche show where Jeff Tate got up there and basically was, "What's wrong with you people? Get up! Come on! You guys suck!"
When he was here in 2012, he was saying bad things about
I love Jeff, and he's a legend. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you can't bark at the people that are out there. They're here. They paid. They've been seeing all the bands. They're going through it for you. They drove hundreds of miles. They're spending thousands of dollars to be here. What your only job is to show up and rock the fuck out. And lose your mind up there and give them what they want. They want those songs, and they want to see you in your glory.
Yes.
And that's, you find your moment up there and connect with them, and everything else falls into place. When you start barking at the audience, it's you that that's off. It's not the audience.
But then he went in turn and said, he went over and saw Black Label Society, and he said, oh my God, they understood that these fans have been out here for 3 days in the heat, and he goes, they know how to win over a festival audience.
I acknowledge them in my set up there. I always do, and it's like, you know what I mean? That's a big deal because it's a two-way street. You can't just be up there and expecting all this love and like admiration without putting it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta first extend your arm, and then when they take it and you take, it's a two-way thing. You know what I mean? But you've got to bring them on the ride, and that's your job as an entertainer. But I have firm trust and belief in this audience that when you do put it out there, they reward you infinitely. They really do.
Very good way to
look at it. It really like reminds them why they bought the ticket, and it helps for future shows and future tours. So really the bottom line is if everybody does their job, this thing keeps rolling and growing. If some people drop the ball, then there's, you know, talk. People going, these guys were awesome, but those guys, you know.
See, we come here as fans too every year, so we know exactly what you're talking about. We talk too.
Listen, and there's so many bands and so many different styles and all that stuff, and people really do love so many things. You know what I mean? They love super, super hard stuff, and they like other stuff, and they really put themselves out there. They just love music. They love all kinds of rock and roll. So it's like, you know, you've got to do yourself the favor and go up there and just do what you're here to do. They're here to see you for a reason. You know, find your moment, man. Don't blame them. It's you. You know, and I own up to it when I have off nights. And the worst thing you can do as an entertainer is not be in the mind frame ready to do a show. Because more than physicality or being prepared, being emotionally open to accepting the audience that night, you know, something that I like to do is because I learned from certain frontmen, like Eddie Vedder, for instance, has been always a big influence on me. But you know, in the metal world, it's not cool because people don't like Pearl Jam. But as a frontman, I really love him because he does a particular show to the city. You know, what he does in Austin, Texas is not what he does in Portland, Oregon.
That's awesome.
It's not what he does in New York City. You know, it's a different banter. He kind of connects with that night. And it taught me as an artist and a performer is like when you're in Pryor, Oklahoma, it's one thing. When you're in San Antonio, it's another thing. When you're in Milwaukee, it's another thing. If you don't open yourself up as a person, as a human being, like I like to go out, I like to see a bar, have a sandwich from a mom and pop shop somewhere in the town. You know what I mean? Get a feeling for the people. Get a feeling for what's going on there. What are they griping about? What's their struggle? It may be manufacturing in Ohio. It may be cannabis in Colorado. You know what I mean? But you got to understand, as an adventurer and as a journeyman, being in rock and roll, you have to connect with your people, and everything is different. So, you know, sometimes my banter's awesome, sometimes I'm a little off, but I always take the risk of doing something different. You know what I mean? I have my themes that I work, but I don't like the script.
You know what? I love that because so many people see more than just.
Thank you.
They
I
really
have fans that go 4 or 5
exactly.
shows.
And it is kind of frustrating when you can speak the exact dialogue right back to them.
Well,
and
it's
you know
heartbreaking for them. It is, because you can see it in their face, because they want to believe, and they're waiting for something real, and they're like, okay, I saw that first show. You know, by the third show, if you're doing the same shtick, they kind of go,
you're
okay, I still love the songs.
My ticket should have been about $10 less this time, maybe $10 less.
You know, okay, I still love the songs, I'll rock them, but I thought you were one thing, but you weren't that thing.
Right, you're
an
actor.
Yeah, man. I don't, you know.
I appreciate
that. Well,
you
know, it's funny. We were in Chicago a few weeks ago, and I partied at this really schwanky upstairs venue at this hotel down there called the Dana. And I ran into Henry Cavill, Superman. He was up there hanging with Gina Carano, and he was super cool. They were both really great. We took some pictures together. We hung out, and we just had a second to talk about. You know, I thanked him for bringing back some real virtue to the Superman's franchise. You know, he did a really great job. He crushed it. You know, and we just got talking about the difference between why actors want to be rock stars and rock stars want to be actors, right? And I was like, you know, at the end of the day, we were just we were kind of busting each other's chops. But at the end of the story, I just said to him, hey, I said, hey, I love you, but you get a couple takes. I said, we only get one. And I said, you know, rock stars live it. And the wear and tear you see on them, or what goes into the next record, the real ones that you love and you admire and cherish forever, the real legends, they lived it. And when you're a human being and you live the story, it takes a toll on you. But the audience knows that because you're a human being. And when you get out there and you can give it back to them in one take, you know, that's the greatest thing.
It is
and
impressive.
that's what it means to be the real deal, in my opinion. From Johnny Cash, you know, to Slash. You know what I mean? Those guys are the real deal. And that's like, I always followed those kind of stars, because you gotta walk the walk, man, if you're talking it. And there's a lot of talk right now, but I'm not seeing a lot of guys really, you know. I saw an interesting tweet by Trent Reznor the other day, and he said the only gripe I have with what's going on, there's a lot of great things in music, whatever, but bands, attention, step out of the box, stop trying to do what everyone thinks they want. You want them to do, like, do something different, radical, dare to fail, basically.
The audience is ready for a little bit of a shake-up and a little bit of a change. And,
I can see it, man. I mean, you know,
somebody needs to give it to us.
Well,
I mean,
I think, you know, as long as you keep doing like what I was talking about, making it special for them every night, you know, do what you do, but really just, if they know that you're in the moment, then they know the moment they're there with you is really special. And live concerts is about that moment.
That's so true.
I mean, that's what it is. I know everyone's got the iPhones up and they're recording it.
Yeah.
They ain't recording the whole show. They still want to experience that thing, and it makes it special. If it's not, then what's the purpose? And you're just over touring and you're a factory of the same crap, and I'm not into that. Other guys are. I don't judge you. Do it if it works for you, whatever. But I didn't grow up with that, and I think for rock to continue and have true viability with truth, you know, so people can play this music 20 years from now or whatever, you have to step into that moment with truth. You have to understand the weight of that moment, and you got to dish it out there with everything you got, because that's what they're looking for.
Absolutely.
That's why they're here. So.
Do you write your guys' lyrics?
Yeah, I write all the lyrics.
Okay, cool. I just didn't know if that was like a collaboration.
No, I write the lyrics. I collaborated with lyrics on Immortal with Dave Bassett and Straight Jacket with Eric Bass. But it's always things that I'm motivating. They ask me because they know I'm passionate and how I perform, and they know that if we don't connect with something that I'm really going to be able to live with and perform night in, night out, I'm not a good actor.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I enjoyed hanging out with Henry Cavill, and I was like, you're a great actor, you're Superman, but I've seen him in other movies, he's an amazing actor.
Right.
I'm not an actor. You know what I mean?
So,
and if
it's you up there on
I can't
stage.
fake it.
It's you always.
I'm sweating, I'm screaming, I'm not orthodox in a lot of things, and I'm not perfect. I see other guys, they're perfect. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect. But I think that's the charm to this band, is that we're not perfect, and people are seeing that, we have some tracks going, we have production from the tracks we did in the studio. You have to. But we're not relying on those tracks to sing the backgrounds. We're singing in real time. That's just atmosphere shit that we're playing to. But I'm not faking it. And you know, if you've heard me, you know I'm not perfect. But you know that I'm singing with my heart, and I put my heart into it. And for me, my audience understands that that's what they're into. You know, there's those guys that, you know, if you want that, you can pop the CD in and listen in your living room. If you want to come see a show, the biggest compliment we get from our audience is, hey, bought your CD, loved it, saw your show, that was what I'm talking about. I lived it with you. Loved your CD, lived your show.
It's always nice to enjoy the live performance just a little bit more than the CD.
And you want the mistakes. That's the whole thing. You want to hear the mistakes.
I also want them to be thinking, what are they going to do now? If they're not there thinking that, I don't think you've done your job. You know? And there's a reason why certain people don't do this. There's a lot of talent out there. Other guys play great guitar. Other guys can write songs. Other guys can do all kinds of things. There's a difference between the guys that get in the bus and do it 6 nights a week. You make that choice. There's a difference to choice. And that's the reason why those people come to see you, and you got to deliver on that. And the only thing you got to do is live it. You live it, and you show them, and they go, that's why I love those guys, because they showed me the difference between me and them. And they love you for it because they're living through you. And when they start living through you, you have a responsibility to keep that going until you can't anymore, and then just go home. Because some guys stay too long.
Yes,
And I'll just say that.
You're right.
mentioning
You're
names.
right.
Yeah.
You're
But
right.
sometimes,
I've had names running through my head.
sometimes
this
you
whole
gotta go
conversation.
home.
So have I.
Yeah.
You bounced us from one band to the other. Just I've done the same thing.
I've been
it's
over
like,
here
and
like
this band.
Mentally different. Yeah.
stay too long, man.
Yeah, but I really appreciate everything that you're saying on
Thanks, man.
on the just keeping it fucking real, man. Just keeping it real. Change it up. Know who your audience is. Know who you're actually.
I agree.
Who are you selling to?
Yeah.
I mean, you're selling a product. You're selling.
It is a
something.
product, and it gets out there, and I hate using those words because
I know,
it
it
fucking
is.
sucks because it's not how it starts. But
Right.
I would like to add one wrinkle to what you said. Before you can know who your audience is, you as an artist need to know who you are. And a lot of people are wearing different costumes and masks and this and that, and it's really about looking in the mirror and going, okay, I'm not this guy, and this guy can sing that note, and I can't do that, and I can't. What do I do?
Exactly.
What do I do that the other guy doesn't do? You know what I mean? Like the Stones were never the Beatles, but there's a reason we love the Stones, because they weren't the Beatles. Mick Jagger is not Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
But you know what he is? He's an embodiment of that spirit, and he's an unbelievable frontman, and he's taken people on a ride for 42, 43 years. You know what I mean? So I mean that requires acknowledgement, and I think the best being an artist, true in first and foremost fashion, is acknowledging what your weaknesses are and focusing on your strengths. And when you find those strengths and you become individual in that nature, I think then people find you. You don't have to find them; they come to you.
That's awesome. Very good approach, man.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it,
Taki.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate you taking some time and talking
Dude,
to
absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for the support, guys.
No problem.
You know, this is a battle that we're all fighting together, and we can't do it without you. And I really appreciate it because you help get the word out there, and that's what it takes. Because for a band like us, it's been around 10 plus years, but essentially we're a new band to many.
Yeah.
You know, I thank you for introducing us. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Taki.
Yeah, man,
I
my
really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank
Do you mind if we
Randy.
get a couple of shots?
Absolutely, no problem.
Awesome.
Thank you, ladies.
I also wanted to tell you, you know, Anti-Mortem, you